It's Rell, and let's dive into Plushie from the Sky, Fishwind's third-person, high-mobility action combat game. We run, jump, fly, and dodge our way around, smashing things with cute plush toys. I love the opening splash screen. I immediately look at the settings, and they're awesome. Controls are super easy to remap, and every time you change a setting, it almost immediately changes in-game. I also appreciate the inclusion of a potato setting. Gave me a good laugh. Now we jump in, and the movement feels really good. The tutorial is really clear, though the floating keys in the world feel a bit out of place. The world itself is really cute. I love the pinwheels that help propel your character. After learning the movement, we jump through a wormhole, and it's got a nice animation. I would have liked a click to continue option after the long black loading screen, as we are almost immediately confronted with our first enemy. And the fight felt really smooth. You have a melee attack limited by your stamina, and a ranged attack limited by your ammunition. Though finding more is pretty easy, as long as you're pushing forwards. Rescuing these guys was super intuitive. There was no need for a text tutorial. I love it. And the save animation is adorable. The level up system that goes with it is simple, but allows for customizing your playstyle. We start out with massive trees around us, and it looks amazing. As I keep moving, there's an ominous purple structure in the distance. I hope we get to interact with it. I have to cross what look like toxic mushrooms, though they don't seem to be damaging me. Turns out they do. It's just the animation isn't perfect. You honestly have to be trying to get damaged by these. That being said, and ended up falling here. I love how the game just says dead, spelled wrong. Just nice little quirky bit of humor. You don't naturally regen health, but you gain a recover feature that gets recharged by fighting. This is my favorite kind of healing in games, pushing you to be aggressive. This gloomy, foggy area has a really nice atmosphere. It's a cool shift from the whimsical forest. And man, these followers are adorable. I'm so happy we get to save them. Our first mini-boss is a giant version of a regular enemy. Seemed to have a special attack. I'm not sure how I killed him. It looked like maybe an environmental kill, but it was really unclear. We find a new weapon. It's another plushie. The stat screen is super easy to understand, and it looks like changing weapons in combat will be possible. So how do we progress? By throwing magical turtles off a cliff. Okay, sure. I do love the transition, even though I lost most of my followers. The camera can be hard to follow, but I do love the blur effect as you start to go off the edge. It was a really cool moment for me, when I almost fell off, but managed to catch myself and work my way back up. I love that knocking enemies off cliffs still gets you XP for taking them down. And look at those cute tree houses. Unfortunately, we can't go in them though. I love the little bridge animation. When I first started seeing it, I thought the bridge was going to fall down on me, and I had to sprint across as quickly as I could. I do enjoy having to hit enemies with ranged attacks to remove their defensives, and offenses in some cases. I am worried about what happens if you run out of ammo when you're fighting these guys. It is a small worry since the ammo seems to be plentiful. I take this little bounce pad up, and whoa, there are too many spikes there. No thank you. And then I learn that our cute little followers that we're rescuing and I want to protect are actually ammunition for big range attacks. Here we face our second mini-boss, a guy who rings a bell that summons more guys who ring bells and summons more guys. Well, it's not infinite. This fight snowballs pretty hard, and it was honestly kind of fun. Then we end up fighting this huge group of frogs. Man, this rest mechanic is saving me though. Rush in, get some fighting done, take one or two guys down, sprint out and heal. The keys floating in the background are just gorgeous here. And there's a paratrooping frog. Next, we come to this idyllic sky of floating clouds and a staircase made of fluff. As I try to fly over to it, an enormous living tree suddenly appears. It's our first boss fight. We fight while jumping from cloud to cloud. The camera's rapid movement can make it hard to see the clouds sometimes. That being said, when you get to the boss, attacking him from on him is really fun. He can warp away, leaving you beneath the clouds to die. Some of his attacks create upstreams that you have to use to maintain your height. It can be really fun to use his own attacks against him, Though sometimes you're left waiting beneath the clouds, and the updraft never comes. Unfortunately, his hitbox isn't fully mapped. It's possible to warp through him or glitch inside him. It can cause some unfair deaths. You land on a solid patch and fall right through it. The transition to the second phase has a great animation, removing the clouds. Now you have to fly to updrafts scattered around the map while avoiding the twister. Really important to manage your stamina. I beat him just before I fell to my death. And I get the dead message. And dying fully restarts the fight. After another try, I get through phase 2, using the power of cruelty, flinging my cute followers at him. Then the sky goes red, and his health bar starts regenerating. I brace for another phase that never comes. And that's the end of the demo. The camera can be a bit overzealous or get blocked at times, and a few of the hitboxes were not perfect. However, I had a great time playing it. From the whimsical art, the responsive and diverse movement, to the wonderful boss battle. It was a blast. I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night.